James Farrier's this far from having a Hall of Fame resume. I did a study on this one, Soki. Would you like to hear some of the results?
This is pretty good. This is pretty good.
How many players in history have double figures in every one of these categories? First of all, he had what, 1,500 tackles. Interceptions, double figures, 11 in his career for an inside linebacker. Forced fumbles, 18. Fumble recoveries, 12. Sacks, 35. Already you've shrunken the pool to somebody who has double figures in all of those, not to mention 98 tackles for loss, 50 quarterback hits. And I feel like if he had won the Defensive Player of the Year in 2004.
That was the year I was starting.
Then we would really have a case.
Yeah.
Guess who beat him out by 4 measly votes?
Can't remember.
Ed Reed. 4 votes.
4 votes. I remember he was runner-up. He had a spectacular year that year. Listen, he's an all-around great guy and great player. And you look at this, he was overshadowed. And it's funny to say that a guy like that could be overshadowed by so many other big-time players. Troy Polamalu, James Harrison, right? And so many other guys. There were so many great players on that defense that were selfless. And one of them did it, and he was number one.
Who else he raved about was your man, Hamp.
Oh, man.
He goes, he's a Hall of Famer in my opinion. That's what he said about
listen, not only a Hall of Fame player, but a Hall of Fame guy.
I told him, and I reminded him, I said, I remember walking into that cafeteria for breakfast when you guys were having breakfast. There'd be white guys, black guys, offensive guys, defensive guys, and the one guy in the middle holding court was Casey with that big smile. Just beaming. He would hold, and Troy would be sitting there listening to him. Whoever would be sitting over here listening to him and laughing their ass off.
There were a few guys, Hamp one of them, that was a guy for everyone, right? That everyone just gravitated to. And
we talked
everybody
about
loved
the story about him going when he went to the White House and Bush pushed aside Kyle, pushed aside Dan
right
Mooney,
to him.
and went
well,
right
the funny
to
thing was, though, leading up to that,
he said
in offseason,
told you guys
he kept telling all of us that, and everybody's like, whatever, Hamp. Pot Dog was one of the ones saying, whatever, Hamp. Playfully, right?
Yeah.
And Hamp said, all right, you guys will see. And we show up at the White House, and sure enough,
I covered
George Bush went right to Hamp.
I covered that, and Casey just beams. He said, we worked out together. Yeah.